from this part of the world. It's afternoon. I don't know what part of the world you are, but good to be. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. It's noon here. I can hear the alarm of my prayer time. It's noon, but it doesn't even look like it's noon because it's been raining cat and mouse. At least that one how they call it. So it's not. It's interesting anyway. I love the weather. Just the way the housemates, I noticed they're also crying in the house that there's cold. I'm like, so this cold is not only here where I am, it's everywhere. So how are you doing? It's been a while. I hadn't come online. In fact, do you know the irony of the whole thing? I have been so carried away watching the show that to even sit down and live stream is me as if I'm going to miss out on a lot. Yesterday around after 3 past 3 a.m., I literally was forcing myself to be able to listen to that conversation between Jason J and Faith. See, I still stand my ground. At the end of the day, everyone has the right to their own opinions. I still stand my ground that Faith has this characteristic socially. I'm not diagnosing him because I'm not even a professional. Socially, he has this characteristics of a covert narcissist. So also Jason. Yes. Socially, they carry those characteristics. What are those characteristics? They do not take accountability. It's even now that Faith is managing to admit that there are some things he says and does that Faith has this condescending vibe. Imagine yesterday in his diary session. Very manipulative young man, which is good for him. After all, it's a game. Yeah, and all of them there, of course. That's why I tell you that I do not overemphasize on their character, because at the end of the day is a game house. Because I remember sometime before this main show started, Sean said something that Onyeka did not leave her real self in that house. Yes, it's a game. Do you understand? Because if truly Onyeka's lifestyle is what she showed on the game, then she will run mad in her real life. I don't even know what I'm trying to say to you, where somebody is highly delusional and highly, you know. So that is why I do not take things too personal. But it still remains that there's a little bit of yourself. And the reason why I'm a little bit critical on Faith is the fact that he claimed that he had not watched the show. So more or less, he's the realest. More or less, he's the realest in that house, if you ask me. So most of his characteristics, I see it as him being him. Do you understand? Okay, now listen. If people listen to his diary room, it's just that they say love covers multitude of sins. So his faithfuls will always see the perfect person, but that guy is not a perfect guy. He's just a human being like all of us. And that's why when people were trying to crucify Dede for doing things under the sheet with collar, to me, she is not a saint. Like, she is not perfect. So please, you guys should cut her some slacks. She understands. So whatever, yeah, she started her game the way, and that's why it's a social experiment. You might start like this, but you might not end up like that. She understand. Okay, see, okay, let me still first start by analyzing the yesterday's diary session of Fit. If you guys did not see it, I saw it step by step. A powerful manipulator, starting with a very arrogant tone and ending it with a humble tone. What do I mean by with a humble tone? He was crying. What was he crying? And Loki, what Biggie said to him at the end, if you ask me, I'll say is sarcasm underneath, where Biggie told him words can break people and words can still uplift people. Faith does not have a limit to what he sees. He thinks he's too intelligent. He is intelligent, we can't take it away from him, but he looks down on people, and hence why he was fighting a lot with Telma. Telma was literally trying to tell him that you're not the only smart person here, and that's why you saw Telma overwork herself. See yesterday's power oil task. You could see he literally could not even lift his head up. And you're human, and that's the part that I don't get it from so-called intelligent people or nerds and all of that. Do you get? This is someone that literally disappointed. No, let me just say disappointed anyway. That literally, yeah, I'll use the word disappointed. Why opening your mouth on national television to say that you do not love your mother? And then the mom was now left to start dealing with the responsibility of coming to create a podcast or broadcast rather to talk about what her son said. And it doesn't make sense. Too much of overconfidence. Look, in school, I know a lot of people that failed the exam because of overconfidence. So that guy, me, I stand by my word. Anything when I want to talk, the so-called faithfuls, that guy, socially, I'm not saying medically because, like I said, I'm not a professional here. Socially, he has the characteristics of a covert narcissist. I'll say it again. That's the truth. Where they just sit where they are and trigger you. And let me tell you why he's suddenly saying he wants to work on himself. He's suddenly saying he wants to work on himself because he noticed that most of the housemates now have sort of clocked his game and they're not giving him that attention he desires anymore. They're no longer they're ignoring him. Okay, look at his. I'm sorry to be a bit scattered, but look at his diary session. I just said let us start analyzing Faith's diary session yesterday. Look at his diary session. Look at the air of arrogance and pomposity. Imagine what he was even saying that he would have chosen to throw the badge of HOH at Sultana or so. What is all of that? When Zita handed over the badge of HOH to him, did she throw it at him? All the while he has been handed over the badge of HOH. It's not as if the people that were handing over the badge of HOH are his best friends. But did they like, come on? Okay, look when they even said they should go and plead their case to Sultana. As soon as he came in, look at the way he carried his leg and put on the seat. Look at the way he was talking. The first thing he said is Farid, what did he say? Farida or whoever that stole gold. Why do you and I'm glad that Sultana just she did like she didn't even flinch. She was just looking at him. All she just told him is, please sit down. Like winning this head of house, brought out Sultana. Like just the way winning a head of house brought out Tracy when Tracy won head of house. See, there's something that leadership does to you. It forces you to wear the crown of responsibility, whether you like it or not. That is when you now realize that responsibility in leadership or whatever in life generally, it's not just words. It has to be backed up by actions. Now coming to sit down in front of that girl, the first thing he's saying is that the lady that stole beats, that stole gold to see. You see someone like me, I'm just even pitying these housemates. Well, the good thing is that the show is soon going to be over, but I don't know why they are comfortable. And probably I don't know if it's a doctor's thing because even Dr. TJ also displayed that kind of characteristics where you tell him something personal about yourself, and in a way he looks for a way to like hit you with it in a very sarcastic way or in a very mockery way. Yeah, sarcasm comes with mockery, it comes with a lot of things as well, right? But in a nutshell, you can't look at her of all things now trying to say that the head of house thing is a big thing. And who said we do not know that is a big? We all know is it you were head of her. In fact, she won it from him. And you could tell there's this undertone of shock. He never thought that if anyone was going to take that mantle of leadership for him, he never thought it was Sultana. And I'm glad Sultana too knows that. She said the thing is that she's been looked down like an underdog. Yeah, the people around here look at her. And that was what the same thing Mide equally told her. That she said that was what made her felt Mide's speech as well. Shay, you grab. So to me, and immediately Biggie said they should go and plead their case. You could see that he's feeling too big. And that was why when he came, he was feeling that high and mighty thing and put his leg on the chair. And here's the reason why the decision of Sultana shocked him. I saw it. He was the shockest among all of them. He shocked, like he felt like they just poured sand on his face, and then all of a sudden he's not trying to downplay things. And she wore my socks, she put a hole in the socks. He was not trying to complain unnecessarily, complaints that are not even that are uncalled for. Which one is socks? When he goes out of the house, Sultana can buy him a whole carton of socks if possible. So I don't know. It's just that people that love the faith, you get what I'm trying to say to you. And for some people, arrogance is a virtue. Just the way patience is a virtue, peace is a virtue for some people. For some people, arrogance is actually a virtue. So I see why they are comfortable with him. And every human being we always have this air of arrogance. Like I always say, we have these three elements as human beings. That is tied to our personality traits. And what are those things? I've said them. If you're the type that watch my live stream, even the last live stream, I still talk about that. That is your identity, your ego, and your super ego. And your ego is the worst of them. Do you understand? It can make you, it can break you. You get. So I understand. Just like people will say that lawyers too are arrogant and all of that. There are some, I don't know if it comes with the profession, or I don't know, I don't really know. There's unnecessary superiority complexes in some professions in Africa. Yeah, unnecessary superiority complexes, if you ask me. But that's by the way anyway. So coming back to Sultana herself, I'm so happy for her. And honestly speaking, I'm not lie to you, I least expected that Sultana was going to actually win that HOH. But I'm proud of her. Honestly, I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed that she won it. And of course, she chose her bestie, right? She has, yeah. But people are saying that afterwards that there's a gap between Sultana and Isabella, which I honestly don't see. You know why I said I honestly don't see it? Don't forget that now um Sultana is the head of house. And there's something that power comes with responsibility. So that time that she has now to sit down and be smoking cigar, she and Isabella, that time is not there again. So I don't know why people are making it look as if because she did not choose Isabella. Even the thing is that see people when they talk shower, but that's by the way anyway. And I'm happy. I like the decision Sultana made. Even if it's me, I would have made the same decision. And we all know that there are no genuine friendships there. And if you guys remember vividly when Sultana came on stage, Sultana said she does not think she it's not like she will not make friends, but she doesn't see those friendships like friendships that she will really dwell on because she doesn't really like making new friends. But I think that would change. Do you know why I said I think that would change? I used to be like that too. Yes, I used to be like that. We from the north, and we normally have this our small community that we are so loyal to. Do you get? So when you leave that place, you are scared of making new friends so that it doesn't look like you're being disloyal. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just something that happens to us in our communities. And that's why you see when we live somewhere and we go to a new place, we tend to want to associate with our own people. Like I remember when I left Jos and came down to Port Harcourt, I was I avoided anything that had to do with people that were not Northerners. All of my clique. In fact, I even joined one association like that of Ariwa women. Do you understand? Actually, the association was actually for Navy barracks women, like Navy wives, right? But they were giving room for no, which of course Navy police most time when they are on when they're in the south part or whatever part, you will notice that in fact in general, if you notice the forces, right, the Navy, Army, police, all of that, mostly you see more Northerners are in the force. She understand. So when I came down to Port Harcourt, my first point of call was actually when I think I asked like one or two questions around, and then somehow I got introduced to those women in the Navy barracks. So before you know it, I now joined the association and all of that. But what am I trying to say here to you guys? Now it's inbuilt. I don't know how to explain it. You need to come from a place for you to understand how it is. When you're Yoruba, you understand there's some certain things you guys do, Igbo do the same thing, right? Now that's the thing again. So when she said that, I sort of totally understand her. As I speak to you now, no be me get best friend or me gidi gidi we be Igbo girl from Abia State. I have another very good friend that is from Bayelsa State, right? I have another very good friend that is Delta Igbo. So it's just that's why they say landlord travel and see. You get what I'm trying to say to you. It's just that when you are in a place, you have the mindset of that place. That's why they'll tell you while in Rome, behave like the Romans. So when Sultana came on the stage and said she was not going to make friends, and you could see that obviously as soon as she came to the house, she gravitated towards Big Susu, of course, but because Big Soso is well traveled, she didn't tie herself down to that Ariwati, she didn't tie herself down to Northern, you could see she was all over the place. Yes, she built a very strong bond, though, with Sultana, that one was certain, right? But you could see that Sultana came. So when she said that thing, I relate. So people, there's some certain things that people do not relate because they do not compare. It's just like when people were complaining that Manson was crying, he was too emotional, all of that. Maybe because I've stayed now for over a decade in the south part of the country, and coincidentally, when I first came into River State, I stayed in a community where there were a lot of Andoni people, his people. In fact, at first I mistook Andoni people say for Akwa Ibom people. Yeah, I mistook it because their language wants to carry Akwa Ibom, like is mixed one kind. You can see how Mensan has also a very deep connection with Cross River, Calabar. Don't forget that Akwa Ibom was cut off from Calabar, so there's sort of a so you could see that you could see that in his lifestyle there's a deep root to Cross River. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say to you. So when I first came and I saw this, I actually truly thought that Andoni people were from that side, either Cross River or Akwa Ibom. Do you understand? Because those two people, there's little difference, but there's a difference actually, though. Yeah, there's a difference. But I'll tell you that they're still brothers anyway. So there are some things that you wouldn't know if you're not there. So men sing crying and all of that. It is nature. You get it's nature. And if you look at him, he's a strong guy. He's a very strong guy, but it's his nature. For me, are you guys not happy to even see a man shedding tears? We have cried for the longest of time that men don't cry, and that is what is making men hardened. Now men are suddenly shedding tears. You guys are complaining. People should leave me alone. He's emotional. I remember there was a time I was talking to a friend, and I'm like, okay, if God did not want men to cry, God would have not put tears in their eyes. So you guys should cut this guy a slack. To me, when he's crying, I don't know. His cry makes me laugh, but not in a bad way. Hi sis, hello. I miss you, baby girl. Where have you been? How are you? How is work and how is everything? And Eunice, I was just breaking down the Ariwa thing for us, whereby we do not like when we, especially when we, because we in the north, to be honest with you, we thank God for that. I wouldn't say, I would say it's God, right? We are very good with keeping long-term relationships. That's the thing. I'm not trying to say because I'm from the north. Yeah, we're very good with keeping long-term relationships. We value long-term relationships. I have friends that I've known for more than 20 years. We literally grew up together. Let me shock you, people. I have friends that we did nursery school. They are still my friends, like very good friends. We did nursery school together. So when Salty said that she was not going to make any deep connections with the housemates because she's comfortable with her friends of longer years, now that is a northern thing. See, that is why this Big Brother show, in as much as yes, whatever is 18 years, but if you would look at it, like, when I don't know, everybody, it's just like the internet now. Everybody comes on the internet for different purposes. There are some people that come for the internet for educational purposes. Some come for in entertainment purposes. Some come for musical purposes. Some come for learning how to do, for learning, know how to. Some come for fashion, some come for makeup, some come for beauty content, some come for um fashion. Yeah, there's a lot of content online, and it just depends on which one you want to come for. You want to go, there are people that are online for fraud. Yes, if you know what I'm trying to say. So it depends. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it depends on where you decide to place your hand. So that's the way I see Big Brother show. Right? When some people are condemning their people sleep, like, that is not all. Look, it diversifies. Let me tell you people how I even got to understand the setting of Africa more better. That I knew that these people were East Africa, these people were West Africa, these people were, it was from Big Brother Africa. That was when I now understood the countries that were under South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe. That was when I now knew all those things. Then the ones under East Africa, Uganda, Kenya, like, that was when I knew all those things. If not, I didn't know. I didn't know, like, for real, I didn't know. All I knew was our West Africa, Ghana, and Nigeria. So if you come and watch these things with an open mind, take the one you want to take. It's just like advice. Take the one you want to take and leave the one you want to leave. That is why I will tell you guys my own opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion, just the way you're also entitled to your opinion. And that's why you see me, I don't jump at people. I do not jump at people for not agreeing with the same things I agree. That's the individuality. That's the individual differences. If you guys know, we can't be the same. If we are the same, then the world will not progress. Now, nothing in our life will progress. If all of us are speaking the same language, if all of us are wearing the same clothes, there won't be any learning. They won't be learning. The society will be stunted of growth, right? So even God Almighty created us different for us to get to know each other and learn from each other. So, guys, at the end of the day, there's diversity in that Big Brother house, whether you guys see it or you don't see it. Personally, I do see it. Sure, you understand. Now, let me even analyze something from you. You see, Big Soso and Sultana. Big Soso from Kaduna, Sultana from Adamawa. Now, those people are from northwest. Bah, abi, is it northeast? No, they are from northwest. Yes, Adama and Kaduna. Eunice, Kaduna is northwest, Abi. Kaduna is northwest. Adamawa is northwest, right? Now, let me even tell you something. You see Joanna. Joanna is actually from the north central. She's from Benue State. Culture is equally from the north central. He's from Kogi State. Now, a lot of people do not even know about this thing, not until when they did that their cultural whatever. I can beat my chest and tell you guys that. Hi, Nuha. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. How are you? How is school and everything? Thank you so much for coming. Okay. You get, so whether we like it or not, you see this Big Brother show. Yes, there's the good, there's the bad, there's the ugly, as I said, but this is what it is, right? So Sultana doing what she did, and if you guys heard her conversation with Ruboy and what's this girl's name, Ruboy and Zita afterwards, you guys, well, at the end of the day, like I said, it's only her kind of people that might understand her very well. Yeah. Thank you. It's only her kind of people that might understand her better. When she said, she made reference with Muhammadu Buhari, late Muhammadu Buhari, may he so rest in peace, where she said she is speaking, um, she's mimicking the ideology of the late and former president of Nigeria, yeah, Muhammadu Buhari, where he said he's for everybody, but he's for no one. And that's the thing. I'm for everybody, and I'm from no, and I'm also for no one. Meaning that as a head of house, she's for everybody. But as Sultana, she's for no one. So her decision of not saving anyone in the house was her decision as a head of house. But if she was going to make the decision as Sultana, she obviously was going to save either Jason J or Isabella, which everyone knows are her besties. I wouldn't add Emisi because she has even stated it clearly that Emisi is not her friend. Emisi is just an acquaintance. Do you understand? Meaning that Emisi is a friend of Isabella. So Emisi is not her friend per se. You understand? So definitely her two besties in the house are Josinje and Isabella. So she said she made the decision as a leader. Why? Because of their case that they came and pleaded. On a normal day, they will not sit down there and be talking to Sultana. You guys know. On a normal day, media will not sit down there and be talking to Sultana. We all know. On a normal day. If you know what I'm trying to say to you. Zita is cool with everybody, but that notwithstanding, all of them going to sit down there in front of Sultana, like students coming to take lecture from their tutor, will not come and sit down. I'll be Faith that is even feeling Faith. Literally, I don't know. God, me, I'm saying that, and I keep saying it. You people faithfuls, it's not gonna go vex for me, but I keep saying, you see that you people's guys socially, Faith has a characteristic of a covert narcissist. Yes, definitely. Me too. I support her decision. 100. I support her decision. Now she decided as a leader. Now the people. You see the best of people when they are in position of power. That is when you will see the ones that are selfish. That's when you see the ones that are greedy. That's when you see the ones that are indecisive. That's when you see the irresponsible ones. That's when you see the responsible ones. I don't like responsible decisions. Rather, you get what I'm trying to say to you. So for me, just the way head of house brought out Tracy for us to see, because for the longest time we all thought that Tracy was just a waste of space. But when Tracy became the head of house, the activity of being the head triggered a lot of things. Do you understand? It triggered a lot of things that Tracy would not normally do when she was Tracy. But when she became the head of house, she was on the hems of affair. Now that's the same thing with Sultana. So when people are saying that social distancing between Sultana and now I don't see that. Do you know why? Sultana is not the head of house. You don't expect her to come and sit down. Now, in fact, she almost doesn't even have time to sit down and enjoy her cigar again. You don't expect her to come and sit down with Isabella as usual. They'll be smoking their cigar and be gossiping. There's no time for that. She will be seated there before she will even finish one sentence. Big brother has already called her. Will the head of house? Imagine, was it yesterday said that they did that their karaoke? She was actually asleep. She was sleep. If you guys notice in that house, even 12 noon, 12 noon, even 12 midnight, Big brother calls head of house to come and either collect battery change or whatever. Once you're the head of house, even Zita said it, that she hates being the head of house. The only thing that she likes about being the head of house is the fact that it comes with an immunity. Aside from that immunity, trust me, no one is interested in being the head of house. It's not like in general human beings, there's no one that is interested in leadership position. Everyone is just interested in the perks that comes with leadership positions, not the leadership itself. Guys, so whatever Sultana did, I was impressed. And personally, did I expect it from her? No, I didn't. I honestly did not expect it from her. Why? Because the housemates, just like she said, not only did they underrate her, there are a lot of, I don't know, a lot of activities that have happened in the house via, of course, game house is a game house, has brought a lot of things in order. I was very surprised in a certain order that can be misunderstood. I was even surprised when Ruboy asked her, oh no, sorry, Zita was one that asked her about her three most emotional please, rather. When she said Dede, and she said she relates with Dede, where you're trying to be yourself, but you're still trying to be someone that people will brag about. Yeah, because Dede said right now she doesn't even know what she's doing in this house, but she still needs to be there for her mom's bragging rights. So, which means it's just a case of, it's just a typical case of you going to school to study a course that your parents want, not a course that you want. It's just like I remember when I was giving admission in university. My parents wanted me to do a different thing. I wanted a different thing for myself. So when they gave me what I wanted, my parents were forcing me to change. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, this is it. I always wanted microbiology actually, or education. I wanted to be a teacher. I don't know what it is about teaching that was just my passion. I loved teaching. Even when I was small, I would sit down, be writing on the wall. Like I just loved teaching, right? So my parents wanted me to go into the medical line, either a medical doctor or a nurse. Do you understand? So when I went into school, went through remedials and I got admission to study mathematics education. My parents said I should change it to nursing, because then I won't forget my school just introduced nursing at that year or so when I go. So nursing was a course that was very easy to get because it was a new course. So it was under medical sciences, obviously. So it was a new course that everyone was now getting admission because it is a new department. So my parents were like, I said no, I want to still remain here in mathematics education. If at all, I might even switch to another educational course. It's going to be geography education. But I was very comfortable with the fact that I was under the faculty of education. I was going to end up being a teacher or a lecturer, anyone. Say you're a tutor in general. If you know what I'm trying to say to you, because I noticed that I right from small age. See, there are some things that our path is clear, but unfortunately in Africa, especially, where under the clause or under the influence of our parents, which is not totally a bad thing, because I think our parents will always want the best for us. But as individuals, as human beings, we also grow up and have our own decisions, or we have our own preferences. But trust Africa, your parents are always your parents and you must do the bidding of your parents. So there are times that you're doing things not for yourself but for your parents. I've seen people that go and study law or whatever, or engineering, or mathematics, or and come back and give their parents their results and say, oh yeah, take, I don't read them for you, man, can go pursue my music. Dr. Sid is an example, right? After studying medicine, he's a dentist. Yeah, he just came and carried the certificate and gave his father and said, oh yeah, take, sir, I've studied your medicine for you. And he went into music. You get now, even Dr. Faith himself, well, he said he's practicing, or he's trying to specialize in being a neurologist. Okay, let's see how far he goes. But then there you could see he still has interest, and he's a very good graphic designer. Yeah, he's a very good graphic designer. There's a design he did of for one big company like that. So you can see the boy is diverse, no doubt. But the truth is that when you guys see Faith, that's why I told you guys that guy is very, very manipulative. When he comes, his eyes, when he's talking about housemates, see, you see these eyes. Let me even remove this my glass. You see these eyes. If you guys look into my eyes, you guys will notice that there are some emotions that might be showing in my eye. Maybe my own camera is not as sharp as that of Big Brother House anyway, because I'm using a phone camera. So it's not as sharp as that. But let me tell you, that's what some people tell you, the soul of the body is through the eye. Yes, now Noah is laughing. It's through the eye. When you guys look at Faith's eye, when Faith is trying to be condescending, when you look into his eyes, you will see it. See him in the diary room now when he was speaking about other housemates. Look how condescending. See, when he even, and then he has something, he now looks people into the eye. Now, you see that concept of looking at people into the eye, you have subdued them. That's the truth. You have subdued it. There's something about looking at people eyeball to eyeball. Like in African society itself, we'll say that that's disrespect, especially your elders. You shouldn't, like, you shouldn't look at your elders in their eyes. You get what I'm trying to say to you? Like, it has even grown on us, whereby when you're talking to a small child, like when I'm teaching, yeah, I do not hate him, but what I'm trying to tell you is that he is not as innocent as some people are painting him to be. I've said it several times. Socially, I'm not a medical person. I'm not a sociology or a psychologist. But socially, Faith has these characteristics. Thank you. Has these characteristics of a covert narcissist, where he will sit down, rubbish you, and you'll be there ranting like a mad person. Everybody's asking you that, what is it? And that's why he's always, yes, in as much as there are some certain things that the housemates do to him, and I understand why it triggers him as much as it triggered him, because he didn't grow up in a similar background to those people. Because with the way Faith talk, it's like he didn't even study in Nigeria, he studied abroad, right? So you could see that this guy was born with a silver spoon, which a lot of those housemates are not on that table. Are you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Majority of their housemates are not on that table. See Dede. I was surprised when Dede was talking about her life. From outside, I was seeing Dede, from where I'm sitting, I'm seeing Dede like someone that came from a billionaire's house. But I'm surprised she said it's not like that. So, they said, that's why they said, don't judge a book by its cover. Sure, you understand. Not all that glitters is gold. People are saying that Imisi is playing the poverty card. To be honest with you, where I'm seated, I have not seen Imisi playing the poverty card. I just see her as someone that plays the role of myself. Like, I sort of, if you want me to mirror Imisi's lifestyle to another housemate's lifestyle, I see Omashola. Honestly, I see Omashola in Imisi. Omashola, no, they say he's not saying that he's poor, right? But he's trying to tell you that he's from the hood, but he has made something for his life. So that's what I see with Imisi. So people saying that, like on Twitter, I saw there was an argument back and forth where they were saying that Faith wanted to expose Imisi's expensive shit. And I'm like, did Imisi ever tell you guys that she was poor? Did she tell you guys she was poor? It's just like when somebody tell you I grew up in Ajegule, your first mindset is someone that grew up in Ajegule, that's a ghetto. But there is a non-ghetto side of Ajegule where bourgeois even live. Right? It's just like when you come to schools, like people, let me say here in Nigeria, people tend to see government schools like schools for the less opportune children. I'm trying to say to you, like children that did not really come from rich homes. Like, you know, it's difficult for you to find a child from a rich home in government schools in Nigeria. Even though there are some government schools that give a better quality of education than even private schools. Yes, I will beat my chest and say it again. There are government schools that give, especially federal government schools, even some state government schools, give better quality of education than even some so-called private schools. How would you know? When they go to the university, most first class students, honestly, from when I was in school to even now that I've gone back to school, most first class students, if you dig deeper, they come from government schools. I'm not saying those from private, from all those expenses do not know, but when you look at it, honestly, like so far, what me I have seen, maybe my own experiences, right? Because most of my school has been in the north. It's just now that I'm doing postgraduate courses that I'm not doing it here in the south part of the country. But coming from the north, most of our best students came from government schools, not even the so-called private schools that we're killing ourselves. Then after government schools, the second generation schools, like the second category of schools that were good, like let me speak from where I came from. I was born and brought up in Plateau State, right? That's the north central part of Nigeria. After government schools, the next schools that give quality education after federal government schools, after federal government schools, the next category of schools that gave good education those days were missionary schools. Missionary schools too had quality education. Like myself, I actually attended a missionary secondary school. I attended an Anglican secondary school. Then after missionary schools, the next set of schools that give quality education were actually now the private schools. And unfortunately, the last at the bottom of the pyramid were state schools. And they were like that because there were a lot of corruption. There was a lot of sentiment. There were a lot of tribalism. So even if you are a non-indigenous and you have what it takes, you won't be given the job. They would now prefer to carry an incompetent indigenous to put there. Hence the reason why the quality of the state education was poor. Yes. So what am I trying to say? Them looking at Imisi's level of exposure, rather, I would say, might not be as deep as their own. And she's someone that just wants to live herself. I don't know how I'm going to put it for you guys to understand. So, where the Imisi, because honestly, since I've been watching this show till now that we've entered the 9th week, I have never heard Imisi, even when she spoke about the issue, her personal issue, she was even crying in her diary room that she regrets even telling the housemates she wished she never told them and all of that, right? But that's by the way, I don't know why she's feeling bad. It's okay. People have, people don't look like what they have been through. Yeah, a lot of people do not look like what they have been through. A lot of people, you see them, you think that they have got everything going on perfect for them, but it will shock you that you looking at them, you even have your sheets put together better than them. Like, that's by the way, right? So looking at Faith, for someone to say that he has never even watched the show or something like that, he said he has just watched how many seasons of the show, I don't know for him. And it looks like he studied abroad. Is in Manchester? I don't know. I haven't really checked out his profile like that, right? But obviously, Faith comes from a wealthy home. Faith is, that was why when they were saying that they should that Big Brother show is not a poverty alleviation show. There's nothing wrong. Like, okay, Georgia. Okay, yeah. Me, I was going to say Manchester. Georgia. So it tells you that that guy is top notch. You understand? Still, let me narrow down my own small self. That's why I said something at the beginning, that we from the north, we have a certain ideology. When I came here and I saw women, hey God, when I came into this town, I saw women doing black markets. That, what do I mean by black? Nuha, you might not know what is black market. That's illegal. Like yes, illegal, whatever we like it or not, in as much as it's sort of acceptable in the society, but it's not supposed to be a norm or a value of the society. But somehow it has been acceptable, and I don't know why. Is black market where you will see people selling fuel. You understand? They'll go and buy from the filling station. That's the area of the whole thing. But they'll not come and be selling it on the road. So it's called black market, even as the name sounds. Now, we have black markets even in where I come from, but it was mostly managed by men. When I came here, I saw women literally selling for how, where, when, and I saw women too driving buses, public transport, doing Okada, and I'm like, yo, now that is where they say landlord travel and see. Do you understand? So there are a lot of things that, yes, so there are a lot of things that Faith is seeing in this housemates and is triggering him. Like his mindset hasn't come to the point that, guy, this is it. But he knows, but it's just his mindset that is slower than his decisions. If you know what I'm trying to say to you, he knows. Here's the reason why the decisional part of himself is very, very, very condescending. Very condescending. If you know what I'm trying to say to you. Like me, I'm this kind of person that I strongly respect people's values, called their cultural values, and I respect it. I'm not a part of it, but I respect it. And here's the reason why we're coming down here, like even in not where I come from, Jos, yeah, before some sort of issues happened, there's this let me give you an example. There's this public would I say preaching or evangelism that some church denominations engage in, that is going like door to door, or when you're on the road they'll preach, or when you enter a bus and all of that, right? Now I remember back then growing up in Jos, it was like that, but after several issues it now stopped. And so for the longest of time I had not experienced that. But coming down here to the south part of the country, where majority of them are Christians, it is a normal. As we are sitting down like this, and somebody will just come and knock your door that they came to share the word of God with you. Do you understand? Now, did I despise those people? No, I'll just nicely turn them down. I'll just be like, oh no, thank you so much. Some will be very persistent though, that's the truth. I'll be like, some of them will not say that, kind of, I am. Some I will even actually tell them that I'm a Muslim. Do you understand? And they'll still insist that it doesn't matter your religion. But at the end of the day, I tell them one thing for sure, is that unto you, your religion, unto me, my religion. I am not condemning yours, and I'm not feeling that my own is better than your own. And I should expect vice versa. If I'm respecting you, that's why they say respect is reciprocal. If I'm respecting you, you should also be able to respect me back. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say to you here. Now, when you look at it, logically, Faith doesn't have respect for most of those housemates. See what he said yesterday in his diary session, that he was even surprised that someone like Isabella, he got to, because he never knew he could flow with Isabella, because he saw all of them in a very condescending manner. At some point, Faith felt he was better. If I'm not even, he still thinks he's better than everybody. And that's why I'm pitying all those that are day and that are sort of trying to come so close to him and open up. I don't know why they think that his decision means so much like that to them. I don't know why they feel that they need some certain validation from Dr. Faith. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know why. What he's saying, is it true? Yes, his analysis is spot on. Yes, but seeking validation from him, I'm surprised. Yes, I'm surprised. And the thing about Faith is the fact that he's intelligent, not just intelligent. This is somebody that is practicing, trying to specialize in neurologist. So it tells you that he deals with a lot of mind. It has to do with a lot of mind, detailed anatomy of the brain and all. It has to do, the neurons has to do with the brain. So it has to do with a lot of human behavior and all of that. And I think some psychologists, so some psychology will also be involved and all of that, right? I really do not get why these people suddenly, because to be honest with you, they equally gave him the same energy that he gave them. What do I mean by they gave him the same energy? They also in the house were also looking down on Faith. It was a vice versa thing. But because he was smarter than all of them, he literally successfully turned the table on all of them. They all played the same game at each other. He came looking at them in a condescending way, they also gave him the same energy. Of course, is back to sender. They also give it, but because he is more intelligent and more articulated and more, will I say, let me just end stop it there, because they believe he is intelligent, and at this point they are intimidated by his smartness. Yes, they were all intimidated by his smartness because he was condescending. He's not the only smart guy in the house. He's not the only smart guy in the house. If we're talking of smartness, other people are equally smart. But because this is a social experiment, so most of them did not come with their intellectual game plan. They all came with a social game plan. Tracy is an engineer. Hello. Tracy is an engineer. Big Soso is a lawyer. I think Sultana studied economics in school. So like um what's his name? Dinari is a master's holder. K Bobo also has a master's. I think even Kola too himself has a master's. K Bobo did not even study in Nigeria. Kola too the same thing. So what are we guys not saying? Ortega is another well-learned person, but at the end of the day, Big Brother show is not an intellectual show per se, in as much as intelligent quotient is equally important in the house, because obviously they do intellectual task, right? So obviously the intelligent quotient is another very key thing in the house, but the major thing or the base of the show is not intellectual, no be school. Do you understand? So it's not as if he's the only intellectual person. I don't know. It's just like how lawyers will tell you that they are the learned ones. It's condescending, isn't it? So it's only normal for us to, it's only normal for you and I to throw it back at them. I don't know what I'm trying to say to you. We go to the same universities, we spend almost the same number of years with you guys. We also, I don't know what I'm trying to say to you, in different aspects. Like as a teacher, Nuha, I don't know what you're studying, but as an educator, I am supposed to know virtually everything. I have done sociology, I have done philosophy, I have done psychology, I have done math, I have done, what, name them. Hello. Even right now that I'm doing postgraduate, there's a course though is an elective that has to do with agriculture, entrepreneurship, like hello. So no, no, you as long as you are a learned, or rather, but lawyers assume that they're the only learned person. But as long as you went to school, you are educated. Now, anything he says, they accept him. Winning games and winning made the house believe he's always right, although on the other hand, he does wrong things. See, it's not about winning. Let me tell you why he has an edge over them. I said it one time like that. I was watching and I said, Faith is not as smart. He's smart. Don't take it away. I'm not saying he's not smart, but he is not as smart as the housemate thinks he's smart. Do you know the edge that Faith has above those housemates? Is the fact that he listens. Faith listens, and thanks to his career, thanks to his practice. When you walk into a doctor's office, obviously consultation, he will listen to you because it's from your complaint that he will make a prognosis first before before even a diagnosis will be made. It will be prognosis, right? So he has the upper hand. Yes, that is it. He'll see, when I go into exam hall, when I carry my question paper, and then I don't start writing immediately. No, I will read. Yes, I will read. See, all of them have that ability. All of them have that ability, but it's just that they are too loud. The ideal or typical Niger way. You know how you're not in Nigeria, so you only Nigerians will relate with me. The typical Niger way, our gra 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 gra. If you come to Nigeria, where you will know that Nigerians do not listen to understand, they only listen to reply. They only listen to answer you back. Is when you guys meet at traffic during a road rage. That is when you will realize that Nigerians, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the system that has made us that way. I really don't know. Even though I'm trying to say to you, right? Now, if those housemates, like Telma is another person that tried walking on that path, and you could see she came out excellent. Okay, see the head of house, Sultana, came out winner. It was all about she to listening and understanding. Do you understand? You see, the first time I watched Nigeria history, thank God bless you. Nuha, take one kiss, like let me blow you a kiss. That is the thing about we Nigerians. And it's very little people that have noticed that thing. And when you are part of those little percentage that have noticed that thing, you will end up looking smarter than everybody, not necessarily you're that smart. I'm not taking it away from Faith. He is very smart. I am not taking that away from him. Plus the fact that he has a specialty that definitely does that definitely deals with human behavior. So that is an advantage. He has knowledges, he has professional experiences based on human behavior that you and I, or the remaining housemates, obviously, that are not, do not have that privilege of those information. So obviously, it's just like now you walk into a setting where you're dealing with accountants. Waiting accountants go carry biro do. It go shock you. For your friend, they will dupe you, you will not know. In front of you, they will dupe you, you will not know. So what are we not saying here? So he just found himself in a space where it just worked for him. I said, if they just observe, since the housemates started listening, okay, see the power oil task of yesterday. You can see that their Jason J team, that's the team lights. You could see that they listened to most, and you could see they did very well. You understand? Now, during a street contest like that, like where you're throwing jabs, the other party is not supposed to respond. Once you respond, you don't feel be that. Yes, then you're no longer in a battle. You're no longer in a, So these other guys understood the task. And if you look now, what are we not saying? Now, that is not Faith's area of specialization. Faith is a nerd. Faith is a bookworm. So when it came to that street battle of words, of lyrics, that's why he said, oh my God, that two of the musicians have left. So he doesn't have anything to offer. He knows. So it tells you that Faith has his weakness and he also has his strength. It's just like I told you, one of his major strengths is the fact that he listens and understands. Don't forget, this is someone that studied abroad. So obviously, the mentality, the ideology, the principles of abroad people has entered him. So he is not your typical Nigerian. He's far away from that, and that is why you see he wants to run mad sometimes. Do you understand? Meanwhile, others are looking at what is happening as normal, but he is looking at it as abnormal. It's just like what I'm telling you. When I first came here and I saw women selling black markets, driving public transport, like doing bus conductor, driving Okada, and I'm like, because where I came from, that's a man's job. Gender roles are really detailed where I come from. But when I came down here, there's nothing of sort. What a man can do, a woman can also do it. So it was a culture shock. Now that is in Nuha. There's something also called culture shock. Right? So I believe activity shock or behavior shock is really affecting Faith. He has stayed abroad for too long to even remain, and probably he left Nigeria when he was very little, under his parents' supervision. So he knows nothing, little or nothing, depending. Our family obviously is our first agent of socialization. So whatever our family feeds us with is what we see as the normal. Then we go out and the society teaches us otherwise. If you know what I'm trying to say to you. So for when you look at Faith, how old is he? It tells you that he left this country at a very young age. So he had been indoctrinated, you understand, by another culture and another mindset and another lifestyle and another mentality, totally different from our own in Nigeria. So it's only normal for him to act the way he acts. But just like they said, while you're in Rome, act like the Romans. To some extent, I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong, and I'm glad he has accepted that he needs to work on himself. Now, the society where he came from, people are transparent, people are open. Telling lies abroad, telling lies to a white man is a big crime. You get, but we here is a normal thing. In fact, here when you even say the truth too much, I remember there was a friend that once told me that I'm too sincere. I'm telling you that I'm too sincere. Everything they ask me, that I tell the truth. Now to him, it's not normal. But where I came from, it's normal. When you're caught lying, is an offense. And plus the fact I told you I studied in a missionary school. So coming up from an Anglican, like studying under an Anglican background, there are morals, that has to do with the missionary. You get, so there were certain things, like even wearing not onto, just like I told you, when you come out the world, we indoctrinate you into other things. Wearing earrings, until now I'm still battling with that. I find difficult to wear earring. Now, where I studied, this secondary school I studied, we're not allowed to wear bulky earrings. We're just allowed to wear very little earrings or no earrings at all. We're not allowed to wear short, skimpy things. Till today, I'm finding difficult to wear short things. I can't. Plus the fact that I'm also a Muslim. So you can see my own stuff is detailed, is deeper than you think. You get what I'm trying to say to you. And that's why you see me. I'm the kind of person that I have grown to be able to tolerate, because I was taught how to tolerate everyone. But not everybody is taught that. Abroad, the white man, you will knock his cousin, his brother will knock at his father will come to his door. He will ask the father, "What did you come here to do?" He go say, "No cook, put your mouth. So what did you come here to do?" But here, my sister, your distance cousin will not, we come with their bags to come and spend 2 months in your house. You can't do anything. So that is for me. So that part of faith, to be honest with you, is critical. Even the so-called faithfuls, if faith do one for them, they will cry. Oh. And the way I'm looking at faith, he will show his fans shaky. But that's by the way. You get. So coming back again to our current head of house, Salty Baby. That girl has this shock absorber that people don't even see. And like I told you guys at the beginning, she said she's not interested in making new friends, right? I'll say I've spoken to her, and the one very important thing I've always wanted to say, and I'll say it today, is the fact that, do you know that and well, why, if, of course, we as adults we know that they say let me give some side adage where they say birds of the same feathers flock together, where they say show me your friend and I'll tell you who I am, who you are, where they say bad company pollutes good mind, be good morals and all of that. One bad egg spoils the other. All those adages. It's true. That's the truth. It's whether we like it or some people tell that, hey, my friend is bad, but I'm not bad. My friend is a cultist, I'm not a cultist. My friend is a thief, I'm not a thief. My friend, it's easy to say, and it's easy to think that we have control. But let me tell you something. When you spend too much time with whatever characters, there is no way you will not pick from them. Take it for free. I'm telling you from experience, even at this my old age like this, I would not say that I'm above peer pressure, to be honest with you. That's one side. Then who you mingle with by association can also boost you or reduce you. Why am I making all of these statements? It is, I want to digress and talk about the relationship of Isabella and Koini. Okay, let's start with Isabella and Kaini Kumi. Do you know that despite the fact the guys in the house like her for her calmness, but I still don't get it why she still entertains Jason? Maybe it's her strategy. See, I'll still talk again. Know her. Jason is a manipulative guy. Jason is a very, very manipulative guy. Look, and I don't know whether I'll still also put him under the category of all these narcissistic men. They will love bomb you. Look at the way he love bombed Dede at the beginning. Look how sweet. Look when the show started. Look how all of us were in love with Jason G. But a typical, I'm still not a professional. I'm just saying it on a social scale. On a social scale, he also has this narcissistic character. For Faith, I've been able to pinpoint a COVID narcissist. There are a lot of different narcissists, COVID, Ovid, whatever. Different, but for Jason J, I've not really found his own category, but he still has that narcissistic trait. Number one, he runs away from accountability. He will never accept it. He gaslights you. He when you know when something kai. See, when Sultana was talking about that issue with Joanna, she allowed him said whatever he wants to say. And have you guys noticed that Jason J blames everybody for his problem or for his decision, for his wrong decision? Let me be more specific. For his wrong decisions, he blames everyone except himself. That is why, to some extent, I even still have. That's why, to a large extent, I admire Faith. Yes, Noah. I admire Faith for the fact that he is accepting his fault and claiming he intends to change, which you and I know very well that he's not going to change. You and I, he's just saying it for the aesthetics. Yes, and because he's smart, like I told you, he deals with the human brain, right? So he knows the right words to say. Jason J till today, thank you. It's always somebody's fault. Now, even it's a matter of time. He will say that it was Joanna's fault for coming to dance with him. It's just that that one now, Ebuka has disgraced him on public television. That is why he does not have anything to use to counter whatever it is. But Jason J blames everybody for his bad decisions except himself. And when you're trying to tell him the truth, when you're trying to state facts, people like Jason J, when you're dealing with them, you have to deal with them with evidence. And I'm glad that to some extent, Sultana had some little evidence that she threw at him that he could not talk. Instead, he lost interest. Now, when he was talking to Sultana, his eyes were wide open. He was very energetic, and he was telling her rubbish, because as far as I'm concerned, what he was saying did not make any sense. The moment Sultana was about to talk, to tell him how she felt, and all of a sudden he was closing his eyes, he was disinterested. Next thing, he wants to go and smoke cigarettes. It tells you that her emotions, her feelings do not matter. And Jason J always, I don't know, maybe with Sultana, mostly because of course she's his victim. And if you ask me, that's his victim, that's his supply in that house. Yes, that's his supply in that house. Joanna is Sultana is his Joanna. I would say maybe Sultana is the primary supply, while Joanna was the secondary supply of his narcissistic cravings. Now, if you notice, whatever decision Sultana makes, and I'm glad that Sultana said just Kukuma give him distance. I it's him that give her distance. I don't know where the distance is coming from, but sure, there is a distance. Every decision that Sultana makes is not correct in Jason's eye. See the decision of saving no one. See where he later, nearly the whole thing, I think it was Culture or who he was talking. Sorry, was it Rude Boy or who he was talking to? That if maybe it was safe to, she would. He was not. He was disappointed. But my question is, what did you do, or what have you done to Sultana to earn that? Okay, maybe he will claim that when everybody was against Sultana, he was the one that was by her side for a reason. That was his love bombing tactics. Plus the fact that he was trying to do it to spite Dede. Why are we pretending as if we don't know? Why are we pretending as if we do not know why Jason even hooked up with Sultana to begin with? Because the way he just busted into Sultana's space, it was unexpected. Sultana was sharing her bed with Faith. From nowhere, Jason said he wants to take her bed. He does not care who is there. Guys, are you guys not seeing a narcissist in plain sight? Are you guys not seeing all those character, those social behavior in plain sight? And that was why along this line, in the middle of the show, Jason became bored. And that is a narcissist for you. They easily get bored of everything because their life is fake. He's claiming he has a relationship outside. Nah, that girl outside, they collect too. She's trying. And that's what he's doing to Sultan. That's what I was saying. A relationships by association can make you or break you. To some extent, Jason J made Sultana look. In fact, you see that statement she made where she's been underrated in this house. Is her relationship with Jason J that made it that way. Jason J, like, will I say, he dropped her steez. He sort of he brought her down to that level. When Sultana came to the house, nobody underrated her. Yes, no, but in fact, to an extent that it was even glaring that Sultana does things, people don't talk, they don't complain. Okay, see the day that she hid cigarette in her pants, that Faith was the one that exposed her that she hid that cigarette in her pants. You can see what she did. She was like, no. You can see the way she behaved. Sultana had that presence. But her relationship with Jason is now like, I don't know, and it's so unfortunate that she is oblivious, and obviously she's going to be oblivious to it. I don't know how these people do these things. I don't know. I don't know how they do these things, but they just make you oblivious to what is happening around you. Probably because one of their strategies is isolation. They isolate you, so they make you oblivious. Everyone sees through the shenanigans except you. It's so funny that everything is happening around you, but you are the last person that would notice what is happening around you. The same thing, I started talking about Isabella and Kanye Kumi. You can see the relationship between Isabella and Kanye Kumi. I really don't know what Kanye Kumi wanted at the beginning of his relationship with Isabella. Of course, we already knew, he was, there was that other part. They are adults, and I'm not going to judge them for that. But there was something about the relationship with Kanye Kumi. Kanye Kumi would also had the tendency of being very free with her, just the way Queen is free with her. But at the time, these guys were singing in his ear, and he was listening. At some point, especially people like, was he, I can't really remember, were telling him something like, Bright, I think, was one of them that was telling him something like he's reducing his tease. Like, why is he always in her corner? Dambo's kid that was always with the guys got evicted by the second week. Mm-hmm. Dambo's kid that was always with the guys, because we're not trying to tell Kayukumi that Isabella is trying to box him. She does not allow him mingle with his guys and all of that and all of that. Dambo's kid that was always hanging out with the guys, he got booted out of the show in the second week. So I don't understand where these housemates just say things without articulating them. I don't understand how they talk like that. And so, along the line, Kanyukumi, because he himself did not have a mind of his own, started listening to those his so-called guys and started saying shit about Isabella. That's the thing. You know, where they even said that Kola even told her after, for me, Kola single-handedly destroyed the memories of Kanyukumi in Isabella, which will I say is a good thing? I don't know. I'm indifferent about that. Because why was that you guys did you and these people? Oh, that's why I say last is a game house. When Kayukumi was in the house, they were showing him like they were on his side and they were condemning Isabella. As soon as he was evicted, all of a sudden they came to Isabella and they now started telling her the nasty things that they provoked Kayukumi to say against Isabella. Like, these guys are really playing the game. Or rather, it's a social experiment. And in real life, that is human behavior. Human beings are generally two-faced. Myself inclusive, I'm a human being. We can be we can speak from both sides of our mouth at the same time. I don't know how it happens, but I think they said desperate situations calls for desperate measures. So I think that is another factor of that two-faced human behavior, that hypocritical human behavior. Let me call it what it is: hypocrisy. It's just like you see on social media, women that are in abusive marriages. The same people that told her to stay are the same people that will tell her, why didn't she leave when something bad happens? So for me, I feel that Kaikumi listened to the guys in the house, and that affected his relationship with Isabella. That even affected the way they were interacting. You can see how Konyi speaks to her in a matured way. Konyi does not argue with her. Konyi gives her reasons why she shouldn't do this. And I'm glad that her interaction with Konyi has even dropped the way she smokes. So it tells you that sometimes it's not even like, she might not necessarily even be a smoker like that, but just pressure, in the absence of some things like that. But that's by the way. So what I'm saying is that relationships, or by association, whatever kind of relationships, by association or disassociation or acquaintanceship, right? Or friendships or relationships, has a way of defining you. So when people are saying that, I can have a bad friend but not be bad, maybe in the past I believed that, but now I don't. Because even as I am like this, I am not going to brag and tell you that I cannot be influenced by peer pressure. So at least I've had the conversation enough, and it's time for me to go and pray. And thank you so much, Nuha. Thank you, Eunice, for coming. Thank you so much. Hopefully, we'll do this again. Let me see. Maybe if I have time. I don't like making promises and failing. What's the time now? This is almost 1:30. If I'm able to come back around 5 or 5:30, I'll do that. Otherwise, let's meet here same time tomorrow. Yes, and by the ways, guys, who do you think we get to the finals? Who do you guys, give me a rough guess of the top five? Just give me, please. Maybe I'll drop it on my community as well for voting purposes. Who do you think we make it to the top five? You guys should give me five, please, fast. Let's be fast. Give me the five, your top five. Just in, it doesn't have to be in any order. It doesn't have to be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just give me randomly. Who do you guys think will make it to the top five? Who do you guys think? I'm waiting. We make it to the top five. Konyi, Imisi, Faith, Sultana, and Nelson. Okay, it makes sense. Almost similar to what I have also been thinking. Yeah, but the only person I don't know why I'm finding difficult to add into the bunch is actually Manson. But well, if you guys say Manson, even the ex-housemates are also adding him. But I don't know. But you get. from the nominated ones. No, just in general, all of them, both nominated and not nominated. In general. I don't know why I'm not seeing Manson there, but I don't. Rather I see Isabella, not Manson. Well, but let's just see. We're still watching the show. At least some few more weeks to go. At least some a week plus. So a few more days to go. It's less than 2 weeks right now, Seth. So if you, but I don't know. Yeah, you see your order too is the same with mine, but the difference is that mine is Isabella, not Manson. I'm looking at Queen. In fact, my top three is Faith, Emisi, and Queen. My top three. Then my top five is Faith, Emisi, Queen, Sultana, and Isabella. That's my top five. Okay, another list is Koyin, Emisi, Faith, Dede, and Isabella. Yes, that is another possibility. Yeah, that's another possibility. What I just noticed, just like I said, Kola has sort of dropped Dede's tease. If only Dede knew, she would have just hold on to her relationship with Koyin. If it means she breaking up him and Isabella, I would have even been okay with that, right? Because her association with Kola, that's how I tell you guys, who you interact with sometimes can make you or break you, can uplift you or downlift or downgrade you. If not, I'm trying to say to you, yes. For me, when Isabella come out, that's when she will know. Her relationship with Koyin stepped her up. Yeah, her relationship with Koyin kind of, I won't say she wasn't refined, but I would say it sort of gave her one grace. Her relationship with Koyin, like for me, if there was any good move she made, was Koyin. Yeah. And the reason why it favored her was the fact that people were tired of the way Dede was treating Koyin like a houseboy. So Isabella coming to his rescue, just aligned, like that. It was almost like that was the engine sitting. He just sat on it and he just aligned. Yeah, here we go. Now, just look at yesterday. They were literally in the kitchen together. But you can never see that with Dede. Dede will only be there giving him directives, giving him orders. No, put like this, do like this, pull this out. And that was why Faith said, and he did not know why Koyin was obeying her. He really did not understand what was in Koyin's head. She will not touch it all. But look at yesterday, I think Koyin was even the one doing what for, I don't know, doing what, there was a division of labor anyways. Yeah, there was a division of labor anyways, that kind of thing. Whether we like it or not, gender role, but it's okay when it's been exchanged. We're all feminists. Nuha, are you a feminist? Equal rights to all genders. Okay. If you say so, let's take it that way. But that's by the way. You could see that, but when it comes to Dede was outrightly selfish. Some people were saying that since Faith said Dede is selfish, don't go there. Those two people will strangle each other. Don't even go there. No. Both of them have strong personalities. Dede has a very strong personality, and Dede is a very confident lady. Yeah, okay. What she showed us because sometimes again I see her like she's losing confidence. Well, I don't know, but from what I've watched so far, she's a very confident lady. Yeah, she got it. Like she's a very confident lady, and Faith is a super confident man. You understand? So those two people cannot work. Nah. You see, Joanna fell for the sweet words of Faith. Dede is not going to fall for that because Dede is used to hearing it. And that is how she coined her selfish character. She realized that people, especially men, were willing to do anything for her because she's a very beautiful girl. So that was how she capitalized on it. Yeah. The thing is that, see, that's the thing. Grooming, like whatever you're groomed with is what you grow up with. Yeah, when you're groomed to greed, you become very greedy. You become a glutton. When you're groomed to mice, to be a stingy person, you mice. So she grew up getting so much male validation and male attention, and hence where she coined that her so-called selfish behavior. Because if that her so-called selfish behavior was inbuilt, loves the sweet words too, but Kola can't do that, and she knows. Who told you Kola is also using sweet words? It's just that Kola is too touchy. Who told you Kola also uses sweet words on Dede? It's just that Kola is too touchy. And I think that's what makes her a little bit uncomfortable, because when you look at her signature of this season, is not to touch, not to hug, not to, you know what I'm trying to say to you. So Kola's principles contradict her own. She's not the touchy type. Do you understand? It's not like in a relationship, where probably you love PDAs and your partner do not love PDA. Now you see there's going to be a conflict of interest. Maybe you're the type that likes going out, yeah, and your partner does not like going out. Now there's going to be a conflict of interest. If you're the emotional type, Like I once said it in my live stream that I'm this kind of person that when I have something to do with you, yeah, or whatever sort, I would want it to I would want it to show. Like, what do I mean? Not public showing anyway. But if you're my friend, knew her, I will check up on you. I will chat you up. We don't necessarily have to talk every day, but there's going to be one, there's going to be that. Like yesterday, I have a friend that for a while we've not chatted with her. I wanted to talk to her, but I was very busy yesterday, so I couldn't. Right? So I am this kind of person that when I have a relationship, a level of relationship with you, I want it to be relevant. I don't want it to just be a hearsay. I want it to be relevant. You understand? It doesn't have to be public, but I want it to be relevant. So when you meet someone that is not like that, there are some people that want to have a relationship with you, but you should just be at the background. They will only look for you when they need you. I'm very sure if it was Faith speaking love to her, she would have accepted to be hugged or touched. No. And if you look at Faith is not the touchy type. You can see all his vibes with Joanna. He wasn't touching her. In fact, the first day he even did something close to like touching her like that was she, the Joanna herself, that initiated it. That was one of the reasons he was happy with Imisi. Yeah, that people were saying Imisi was harassing him, but well, me, I didn't see any harassment. But that's by the way, everybody is free to have their own opinions or their own decisions or whatever they have concluded, right? But Faith is not even the touchy type. Faith is like it's almost like Koyin too. They are not touchy. If you look at the touchy between Isabella and Koyin, it's even Isabella that initiated the more. Like even during that their competition of yesterday, it was Isabella that was even holding Koyin. Do you understand? Yeah, then Koyin reciprocates. Do you understand? So it's not everyone that. So that's why you see there's something they call um there's something they call what did they call irreconcilable differences. You understand? You will see two people they are nice people, they are good people, right? I remember there was this house I lived before I came to where I am currently. There's this woman, she's my neighbor, just fence in between us. So we're literally almost living in the same house, but we just have a fence in between. And that woman is a very good woman. I'm telling you for free, she's a very, very good woman. But guess what? We didn't start on a good footing until I think they left there before me. Oh no, I left before them. I left there before them. Me and that woman, we were not seeing eye to eye. Not because she was a bad person. She wasn't a bad, trust me, she wasn't a bad person, but we just didn't align. We just didn't align. And it's okay. It's very, very okay. Sure, you understand. We just didn't align. So sometimes this really, like you see Faith and Mide. Sorry, I say Faith and Mide. Mide and Bright. They had something in common. They loved PDAs. They loved doing things under the duvet. And it worked for both of them. They both had the energy for that. And it was good for them. Sure, you understand. So that is it. You get what I'm saying? See Dinari too and Doris. They synchronize with each other. You get what I'm saying? So what? So it just has to do with personalities. You get what I'm trying to say to you. So basically, Faith and Dede, no, it's not going to work because Dede feels she's two smart people cannot work together. Dede feels she's top notch, too smart. Faith, you and I know very well. He's very sure that he's smart. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Dede, where she was seated and calling those guys, yes, where she was seated and calling those guys her fishes. She was seeing all of them as dumb asses. I'm playing all of you right in front of you, and you guys are not seeing it. Yeah, that was why the other day she was telling Kola to put his head inside the duvet and do as if he's kissing her so that people in the house will talk. I don't understand. So you can see she's very intentional with some of her actions. So Faith will not dance by the Faith is not like that. Faith is very upright. Faith will not dance by her tune. That was why when people even were saying that she kissed Queen, she didn't kiss Queen. She only just formed just the way that was what I told people that she didn't kiss Queen. People were saying she didn't kiss Queen. That was the same thing she also tried to do with Kola, where she told Kola to put his head inside the duvet and act as if he's kissing her so that the people in the house will talk. If they wanted to kiss Queen, she won't kiss him in the eyes of the public. When she kissed Kola, was not in the night under the duvet in the dark. Hello. So you guys should know that was a gamer there. And her kind of game will not sit well with Faith because Faith is what you see is what you get. So Faith will not play those her shenanigans. No, Faith would have never aligned from what we have seen for the past 2 months in front of our screen. They would never align because Faith is a very upright person when it comes to that aspect. She's not telling him, Faith, come and put your head inside it. No, Faith cannot be that childish. Faith cannot come down to that level. Faith that his pride is taller than him. Faith is 5'1", but his pride is 6'1". Eh? It's Faith. So Faith will not try that nonsense. Yes, yes. So Faith, I don't even know how you guys see put those two together. Nah, no, no, no. If I'm a marriage counselor, if those two people come to marry, I'll tell them, see, guys, you people should not waste your money. Do not waste people's time. You guys will not last. In fact, it will even, people will not even reach the altar because only the process of the plan itself is will lead to break up. In fact, they can't even get to that point. That's the thing. Yeah, don't you guys? Are you guys not seeing personalities? It's so clear. The shenanigans that they did, and that is why you see Koyi comfortably broke off from her. Because to be honest with you, some of her shenanigans were not even aligning with Koyi. But just that you know where you don't already enter, say you don't already enter, and Koyi needed to be active in that house. And if he wasn't with Dede, who was he going to be with? With Culture, I be with Ruboy or with Manson. You know, they need that they're in that house to create content. Yeah, so he needed content and and content that are more loud are content from opposite sex, from male and female. You understand what I'm trying to say to you, like by virtue of past seasons, right? So Koyi was there. Look, I don't know if you watched the interview that Kocho had in one of those his media rounds. He said that Koyi came and met him and said he's tired of cooking for Dede. So that was why immediately Isabella showed interest. Koyi was very excited. He was very happy. And guess what? Since he moved to Isabella, he has never looked back. Okay, and even they can't believe that Queenie just moved on like that. I think that girl self overrated herself, but that's by the way. And let's see how it goes. I'll still come back maybe by 5:30 p.m. So just make sure you are subscribed to the channel on your notification bell so that as soon as I come on the live stream, you will notice it. There'll be a notification in your notification bar that Asma'u is online. All right. Thank you so much, Nuha. I really appreciate your presence. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. Thank you, and bye. All right. See you later.